the best case scenario of this fight would be if I could show no ground game, and then that,
Oh, for the Islam fight.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
people still. But I'm sure people are just going to assume that Islam will just take me down and submit me pretty quickly.
Do you think he'll be big enough for 170?
I think he's a pretty. He just seems like a pretty big guy.
Yeah.
I think he'll be alright.
Yeah. You think he'll stick around at 170, or do you think it's just
I think he'll be one fight, and then he'll probably have to go back down.
because of how it'll go?
Yeah,
How do you see it playing out?
I think I can take him out. I think, but Bilal really just changes stances a lot, walks forward. But I think if I can have someone that just stays in the same stance, and I don't think, but Islam's the very good striker. I think I could land a lot of shots, and I think I could take him out.
Wow. What a
Stuff the
moment.
takedowns. If I get taken down, I believe I can get back to my feet.
Strong guy. Everyone talks about his strength,
Yeah,
about his
strong
grappling.
guy, yeah,
I was talking to Dustin about it. He said his strength was just next level.
yeah. I'll go spend a bit of time with Volk. He can tell me the ins and
Oh yeah.
outs.
Will you train with him for this fight?
If I was going to fight Islam,
Yeah.
yeah, I would have to.
You
Yeah.
go there a lot.
I
freestyle.
did before my last two fights.
Okay.
Just both times about a week to 10 days. But it's real beneficial. They've got a great team.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Especially,
Volk's
I mean, you
obviously
fought
the
him
man.
twice.
Yeah, and he's a multiple time world champion. So
Now, I do think that Jack Della Maddalena is a well-rounded fighter. I do think that he has the capabilities to beat Islam Makhachev, but he has to have a very, very smart fight. Obviously, he's going to have Alexander Volkanovski with him to give him some great insight on how to fight Islam Makhachev. And Alexander Volkanovski, multiple-time world champion at this point, and he's going to be giving Jack Della Maddalena a lot of good advice. And thank God for that, because he's going to need it. I do think that Islam Makhachev is just a completely different beast. I don't know if his tactics, his game plans, or the way that he approaches the game, the 50-50, is going to transition to welterweight because, he's moving up a division, being a smaller guy, fighting Jack Della Maddalena, who in my opinion is going to have the bigger frame going into that fight. The one thing that will separate Islam and Jack Della Maddalena is the fact that Islam has a lot of experience fighting some really, really, really good fighters. And the only really, really good fighter that Jack Della Maddalena has fought so far is Bilal Muhammad, in my honest opinion. Some people would argue that it's Gilbert Burns, but come on. No. Anyways, I do think, personally, that Jack Della Maddalena is probably going to beat Islam Makhachev in the striking. But that's not to say that Islam Makhachev won't have his success in there, because, as we know, Islam Makhachev, whenever he does start implementing a little bit of his wrestling and grappling, that's whenever he starts letting his hands go. And in the open stance, which this fight will be an open stance, I mean, let's just be honest, whoever is in the counter-punching position usually is winning the fight. And we've seen multiple times that Islam Makhachev doesn't have the most picture-perfect looking technique, but he just finds himself in some really, really good positions to land some offense because he understands the concept of being a counter fighter, fighting in the open stance, being a southpaw. So I'm seeing a lot of dumb takes online. People are saying that it's the Sambo that's going to be the difference maker for Islam Makhachev, and that's the reason why he's going to beat Jack Della Maddalena. But I just think that that's so short-sighted and it's so oversimplified, because this is MMA at the end of the day. There's striking, wrestling, grappling, all that stuff put into one. And at the end of the day, man, at the highest level, everybody can strike, everybody can kick, everybody's fast, everybody's strong. So what really separates the best from the best, in my honest opinion, is decision making. And Islam Makhachev has had the most reps fighting the most consistent fighters, the best fighters in the world. In my personal opinion, all that experience matters. All of that freaking matters. And some people saying that Sambo is going to be the difference that beats Jack Della Maddalena, I just feel like it's so short-sighted, it's so oversimplified to the point where you just can't even take those takes serious. I mean, yeah, there is, some good uh merit to that, that it's probably going to be some sort of wrestling, some sort of grappling. But to what degree and to what position? And is it an offensive scheme or a defensive scheme? Because that's just such a vague explanation, right? Because yeah, that could be true, but at the end of the day, what I think is what's most valuable to this conversation is, at the end of the day, I think that Jack Della Maddalena has had one fight against one good fighter that's pretty consistent, and that's Bilal Muhammad, and that's it. If we look at Islam Makhachev's resume, he's fought a lot of great fighters that have really, really good resumes, and I just feel like Islam Makhachev has the experience of fighting, and making better decisions at the highest level compared to someone like Jack Della Maddalena, which in my opinion is a better argument than just saying that is the Sambo that's going to beat Jack Della Maddalena. I do think that this is going to be a good fight, but I just think that Islam Makhachev is going to outwit Jack Della Maddalena. I think that Islam Makhachev is really, really good at limiting his opponent's offense. And let's just be honest, at the end of the day, Jack Della Maddalena is the guy that's really, really good offensively, solid defensively as well. But the reason why Jack Della Maddalena wins fights isn't because of his defense. To be honest, if Islam Makhachev is able to limit the offense of Jack Della Maddalena, it's game over. I think that Islam Makhachev probably wins this fight by decision. And I'm making that prediction right now, May 14th, 2025, 1:28 a.m. I think that Islam Makhachev is going to limit the offense of Jack Della Maddalena and probably get the dub that night. I mean, anything can happen at the end of the day. Jack Della Maddalena might get super, super lucky and get a knockout. But I just do think that Islam Makhachev is going to go ahead and take the dub in that matchup. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. If you guys agree or disagree with anything that I said in today's video, make sure you guys let me know in the comments. Subscribe to the channel. As always, it's a pleasure. Peace out and have a good one.